I'm back outside again with my trad bow here for the Backyard Archery Championships. I'm going to be shooting my 50-meter outdoor scoring round today and submitting my scores for the actual tournament. And yeah, I'm going to take you along the way. I've never actually shot my trad bow back at 50 meters, so I've got to work my way back and kind of get my crawls or gaps down in order to kind of get sighted in for 50 meters, and then I'll shoot a 72 arrow round for score and officially submit my scores for the Backyard Archery Championship outdoor round with my trad bow. Anyone can do this with any type of bow, even if you've never done this before, which I have not shot my traditional bow out past, I think 30, 32 meters, somewhere in that range, 33 yards-ish. So it's a first for me as well on the channel. And so I'm here at 20 yards. I'm gonna get started by just kind of working my way back as I get my gaps down, so that way I don't just start missing arrows at 50 meters right away. And so if this is the first time you're also getting your 50-meter mark, or 55 yards, that's what it also is, then you can also do the same kind of thing. Start close with your comfortable crawl and setup and work your way back from there. Now, if you don't know what the Backyard Archery Championships are, this is essentially a mail-in tournament, a digital tournament, essentially where archers from around the world can compete. If you head to my website, Kaminski.com, I will have links in the description below directly to the sign-up page, as well as up at the top there on a card. Anyway, all that being said, I'm just gonna start here at 20 yards and work my way back to 50 meters. 50 meters is the outdoor round, and we shoot it on a 122 centimeter face. That's what's down there right now, 20 yards from me. And also, I'm gonna get lots of comments. What happened? I fell while hiking, jammed and broke my fingers as well as dislocated them. I'm gonna do 3 under just like I normally do with this bow. It's just something I've been enjoying. And yes, I'm using a glove. I know a tab is more accurate, but this is fun. I just throw it on, and I've already set up the bow with these arrows and this tab, excuse me, this glove. And if I swap to a tab, it'll change the tune. And I don't want to have to monkey with it anymore. Right now, I'm just having fun shooting it. Just want to get an idea as to where I am crawling for now, or gapping for now. Kind of at the bottom where there's wood cross beams at the bottom of the bale. All right, good enough for me. I'm gonna take you back to 30 meters. We'll go from there. All right, back about 30 meters, 32 meters actually. Doesn't really matter at this point, just gonna creep back slowly. Okay, gonna go back even further. Yep, 40 meters. So before, my point was at the bottom of the wood cross beams at 18, about bottom of the black-white line-ish at 32. Now I'm at 40. You don't have to be precise with walking back. You don't even have to measure it really. Just wanted to give you the idea of the actual progression that I'm doing. So now I'm gonna put the point probably where the red and the blue meet, I'm gonna guess. Oof. Yeah. Actually, I'm almost at point on at this point. So I'm gonna go down and get them and shoot a couple more arrows to get a better idea of where I'm at here. I think I'm actually at my point on roughly from this distance, so I may have to hold a little high at 50 or anchor slightly different. I could shoot split finger, but I've got the bow kind of set up and tuned for 3 under, so I'll probably just run that. So I'm gonna go get them and we'll do it again from here. Yeah, I'm like pretty much point on actually. Yeah, really, really close. So next, I'm gonna go back to 50. Just gonna shoot one more here. All right, definitely at point on, so 50, I'm gonna be at the top of the bale, I believe. I'm gonna creep myself kind of back here in the shade underneath this plum tree. I don't know where this is gonna go, so I'm gonna start at the top of the bale, I guess. Woo, way low. All right. May have to use an artifact on the bow like the shelf. Whoops. I feel like I'm being consistent with where I'm putting it, and I'm having a huge variance down there, which is to be expected. No clicker, changing draw length. Yeah, so like I said, I'm learning here, and I like to share the journey because it keeps things real, and you know, you get to find out that everybody's human from time to time. So I'm gonna go down and get them, and I'm gonna shoot 2 ends of practice here to really get dialed in with my gap, whatever we want to call this. And I'll be sure to move the camera in different positions throughout this entire round, so you kind of get different angles, different perspectives as to you know, what's going on and how I'm actually shooting, and I'll let you know how things go all along the way. All right, I think I have a decent idea. I'm using the level of the shelf as my vertical reference, and then I'm using the center of the arrow as well as the cant as my left to right reference. Definitely an interesting sight picture, to say the least. But because I can't be super precise with it, I actually kind of like it. It's not bad. Woo. Still, gotta run through the program. Draw length is very critical with these big, heavy, slow feathers. Hey, working on that left and right. All right, so that's one end of practice. I'm gonna go down and do that again, kind of dial this in before score. End of practice. All right, so as you can see, I was shooting 7 ends for practice, or 7 arrows for practice round. It really doesn't matter how many arrows you shoot in practice, at least in official scoring or official tournaments, right? You have your official practice before scoring, and when that happens, you have a time limit. And in this case, with 6 arrows, it should be about 4 minutes. It's either 3 or 4 minutes, depending on the tournament. we'll say 4 minutes. So if you can shoot as many arrows as you want within 4 minutes during that time frame, that's the official practice round, and that's just kind of how it goes. So you can shoot whatever you want. I had 7 in the quiver. One of those down low in the wood, I lost the point, so I have to dig that out later. So, you know, I went from 8 arrows in my quiver to 7. So now I got my idea down as to how I'm aiming, how I'm shooting, and I'm gonna go run inside and grab the official scorecard for the Kaminski Archery Backyard Championships and shoot my scoring round. Once I'm done, I'll submit them, and then they'll be posted online, and you'll be able to follow them along as well at Jake Kaminski or KaminskiArchery.com. So, first end for score, next end. All right, here we go. First for score, first end. Low. Got to get used to the sight picture. It's odd having something covering what I want to see. There. I'm using the wrong spot on the bow. It's the difference between the felt and the shelf. So. There, that's better. Okay, so first end down. I am going to go down and score them and tell you what the score was before I shoot the next round, because I can't see them from here and I don't feel like bringing out my spotting scope. The first end was a 35. Three in the same way, all to the right. I'm not using the side of the sight window as kind of my left and right reference, but I'm kind of peeking, moving it out of the way so I can actually see what I'm looking at, and it's so hard to look through the bow. All right, and 2. The last one was a 34. Ooh, got lucky. I'm just glad I had the thing up high enough. I'm experimenting with the pressure that I'm pushing in the bow, because I notice that every time I shoot, I have a tendency to move the bow to the left post-shot very unnecessarily, and I'm not entirely sure why, and so I was trying with modulating the pressure a little bit different, and that distracted me, so it kind of derailed the thought process, so got to run that correct. Quite at full extension there. Hey, see, goes to the left. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna find out. And 3 down. That last one was a 42. That one felt really good. Bow jump straight. I think I'm just very tense in the bow arm. Very tense overall, but definitely in that bow arm, causing that bow arm reaction. Hey, way low. Actually, right. Or both. Anyway, that was end number 4. That one was a 44. Hung up on my middle finger. I rushed a shot on that one. I'm lucky I hit the target, so. Creeped on that one a lot. That last one was a 25, and it was my first miss, unfortunately. Definitely much better if I kind of ignore the sight picture and only use what I'm trying to use as a reference point, as like a rough guide, I think, and then just maintain my shot. I think if I do that, it feels like it typically tends to go much better. It's just sometimes like that one, it felt better overall. It just still hits low because I'm not quite aiming up high enough, because I have to really cover a lot of the target there. Yeah, just a little short on the draw on that one there. But definitely much better if I maintain my composure and just kind of use a visual reference. That last one was a 40. And the first half there was a 220 out of 360. Trying to talk to myself to maintain tension. Lost that one. Decent maintaining attention. The bow popped to the left though, so that change happened up in the front. That last one was a 37. Trying. That one was a 35, and think I'm just going to try to do the same thing, but instead of trying to aim higher and still look at the middle, I'm going to try to just shoot for a high 7. See how that goes. Yeah. Wanted to see if I could maintain composure after a ginch. Should let down, but kind of recentered. Short. That last one was a 37. That one was a 42, and I have 2 ends left. That last one was 38, and this is the last end for score here for the Backyard Archery Championships outdoor round with the trad bow. They could only go like that every shot. So I'm going to take you down now and total up the score first, and then we'll talk about how it went. So 443, so that means I shot a 223 on my second half. I shot a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10s and 2 X's. So like I said, I shot a 443 out of 720 points. So I shot a 220 the first half and a 223 the second half. A little bit better composure on the second half. I was definitely maintaining my tension a little bit better, but I kept getting hung up with my sight picture, what I'm trying to see, not quite being there, and letting it go a little bit too early, and struggling with going back and forth between sight picture being correct but not having the tension, and having the tension but the sight picture not being correct. It's all about basically some target panic, mitigation and management. So because I don't practice and because I don't, spend the time to actually hone my skills, I leave a lot of chance up to this, as far as how the performance goes, and that's what causes a lot of these issues where I deal with this target panic because I haven't spent the time to actually work on it and try to figure it out in management with a thought process, with an actual mental routine. So, it's challenging, and it takes a little bit of the fun out of it, to be totally frank. But the idea is it's still fun, and I'm trying to learn, right? I'm trying to put in the effort and experience different styles. Like shooting traditional at 50 meters, it's a whole other game. It really isn't about precision so much. It's so much more about really just consistency. Consistent draw length, consistent tension, consistent delivery of the arrow, and just like, a basically consistent sight picture. But I don't think that is the thing that's actually the most important when it came to shooting this round. It's mostly just the mental composure, the mental control. But anyway, I had fun. I wish I had a little bit more fun because I wish I had spent a little bit more time preparing for this. But like I said, showing you that I'm human, showing you that everybody kind of goes through these challenges, especially with dealing with target panic and doing things for the very first time. I've never shot 50 meters, never shot past 30 meters, maybe 32 meters with this bow, and definitely have never done it on camera. So it adds a level of challenge to the difficulty as far as dealing and mitigating the target panic with mental control, because there's some added pressure. But it's all about basically just sharing my journey and shooting the Backyard Archery Championships. I'm not exactly prepared for it, and that's totally okay. I get to see where I fall on the leaderboard, and hopefully a few more traditional guys end up shooting 50-meter rounds as well. And it was a good time. Good time to actually shoot the arrows at distance, and you really learn a lot based on the the variances that you see, because back at distance, it makes every tiny little mistake way, way bigger, and it really shows you some stuff that you can learn and some things that you can improve on. So I've got that list going, and every time I'm shooting, I find that I am kind of narrowing down my process and getting the hang of it, especially on this second half. Even though the scores weren't that much better, I feel like the grouping was much more consistent. My control was much better, minus a few shots here or there. But I find that I'm definitely making strides. So if you're interested in participating in the Backyard Archery Championships, I will have links down in the description below, again, to the actual sign-up page, and another card at the top up there to my website, jkaminski.com. You can also go to kaminskiarchery.com. They both take you to the same place. Click on the event tab at the top of the page, and that will bring you to the Backyard Archery Championships. And you can see all of the live results, all of the results from people posting scores from around the world. And then once you do submit your scores, within a short period of time, we'll get yours up there, so you'll be able to see your name up on the list with everybody else. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the video, hit the thumbs up button, do all those good things, and get out there and shoot some arrows.